You ready?
We're live. Now we're live. Welcome to Cleveland Business Live, episode 48. I'm Lisa Cole with the CAME team in Berkshire Hathaway. If you want to talk anything real estate, possibly buying or selling this year, just reach out to me and I'm happy to help in any way that I can. Today is a really special live because I have my OG BFF, my first friend ever in this world, Tara Luskin Marchi, on with me since we were 5, right?
5 years old.
I was 5. You were 4.
You were 5. I was 4. Yeah.
Yes. Lived right across the street from each other. Had the best time growing up. And so now we're playing as adults in business, in the business world. So I always there's that one saying that makes me think of you. It's like, if you want something done, ask the busiest person you know. And you're the person that comes to my mind because this girl has a million trillion things going on. But today we have her on talking about Beauty Counter, which she was sending me these samples. And I don't know, I bought whatever in the store because I didn't know moisturizer, what's in it or whatever. And then I think you were sending me samples for a year or 2 or maybe. And finally I'm like, you know what, let me see what this is all about. And so I put it on and the next morning I woke up and my skin was glowing. And I was like, okay, what is this? I need it. I need it in bulk. So anyways, welcome. I'm just keep talking.
Oh, it's great. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Yes, I'm so happy to have you here. So tell us a little bit about your background and what brought you to Beauty Counter and all that good stuff. And then we'll just dive in.
Perfect. So I'll make it as concise and quick as possible. But so yeah, about 6 years ago, I have 3 children. Joe is 14, Ryan's 11, and Kate is now 9. About 6 years ago, I was introduced to Beauty Counter through my dear friend, Melanie McElroy, who is a managing director there now, left her teaching job and does this full time. And for me, it's just, I was into health. I worked out. Those that knew me, I took my health very seriously in terms of what I ate, how I, in terms of working out and all of that. And she kind of said to me one day, did you know, or have you ever looked at what's in your products? And I said, why would I look at what's in my products? I just buy what's on the shelf. And she's like, well, you really should dive a bit deeper into that. So I said, okay, well, let me know more. So I was introduced to Beauty Counter, come to find out that the industry doesn't regulate our personal health products. The Europe, which I told you this, Lisa, Europe bans over 1,800 ingredients from their products. We haven't done a change to regulation in 80 years. We ban about 30 ingredients, and we as consumers just trust what companies are telling us. So,
We as the United States.
We as in the United States and consumers, right? And it goes a step further in that, it might say natural or organic or green or non-toxic, but really at the end of the day, there's no regulation. So a company can say that and not really mean it. So they can have formaldehyde in your product, or they can have, known ingredients that can cause cancer and linked to infertility and hormones disruption rather. And we as consumers are like, oh, it's all natural, so let me just buy it. So I'm digressing a bit. No. But the point is that about 6 years ago, for me, it was like, wait a minute, I'm doing all these other great things. Why am I not taking care of my body? My skin's my biggest organ. But back to your point, when it's the busiest person, some people always look at me and go, Beauty Counter, how are you doing that when you work at Microsoft full time? Well, I do. I work at Microsoft full time. I have 3 kids. But to me, again, health, to me, I'm not my best self if I'm not feeling healthy and I know that my kids and my family aren't healthy. And that goes for my best friends, my family, my acquaintances. To me, it was spreading the mission and telling the story and doing things like this. So both to my Cleveland friends, across the US, and I'm in Boston currently. So
she's never coming back. I held out hope that she was coming back one day, but they're like a huge hockey family out there. And yeah, that's not happening, unfortunately. Yeah. That's okay. I'll come see you. So yeah, that's one of the things. So I fell in love with the way it made my skin glow and ordered the skin line right away. So I do the Counter Time collection, which is like that morning ritual and the evening ritual. And you just feel so hydrated. I love it. But then when I learned more about the whole never list, that I thought that was so cool that I mean, so do we ban all 1,800 ingredients here in the US with Beauty
With
Counter?
Beauty Counter. So Beauty Counter has made a conscious decision as a business, which when they started about 10 years ago, the founder, she's based out of California, and she runs within kind of the celebrity circle, if you will. And she was like, I want natural, I want healthy, but I want high performing. I mean, at the end of the day, I want to look beautiful. I don't want to look 43. I want my skin to glow. I want, I want to look nice. So for me, it was like, how do I find that
You're 42. Why are you rounding
42.
up?
Yes, oh, Jera.
Don't ever round up, girl.
I know. You're like, wait a minute, you're not 42. But for me, it was like, wait a minute, I want to look beautiful. I want to feel beautiful, but I'm not going to like slather coconut oil on my face. Like that's a little bit too hippie-ish for me personally. So for me, to your point, it was like, I want high performing products. So Beauty Counter made a conscious decision to ban over 1,800 ingredients. So they've always taken it a step further. What I've also found just phenomenal over the years is they've invested back in the company and the personnel. They have, they've brought over folks from Chanel. They, brought over folks from Shiseido. Shiseido, I can never pronounce that right. But Christy Coleman oversees our product development. She does runway models and Victoria's Secret models. So it was really, for me, it was that intersection of keeping health, a company that's based on mission. I can never, this to me is so important. They actually go and advocate on Capitol Hill. They meet with Congress and Senate, so to them, it's, of course, a company that's profitable, and I do it. Of course, I make a paycheck, and that's amazing, but it's also about mission and health and voices and making people feel beautiful.
Right. It's all aligned. It's aligned with everything else that you practice in your life and all the healthy, habits that you have. And I love too that every time I go on and I shop, I have like a credit, because you get what, 10%?
Right.
So
Correct.
every time you order something.
Yep. They have a wonderful membership program, and it's not something that auto renews like some of these other subscription companies. You pay a fee once a year. You can choose that if you want to continue on, but it's a small fee. It's $29. You get a free product, which is actually a $49 product. It's the charcoal mask, which some people get a little nervous about that, but it literally purifies your skin and preps you for hydration. If you have oily skin, I even use it on my 14 and 11-year-old after hockey games to just get them cleaned up. But the membership, to your point, gives you 10% back in product credit, free shipping. You're usually the first to know about, new launches and stuff. So yeah, it's just a really great way to be a part of the community.
I think the 6-month return policy is good too, because when you're ordering things online, you don't know if you're going to like them.
Right.
I mean, how do you know? So I love that you're not stuck with anything that you buy, right?
100%. Yeah. Especially too, I found that I'm really starting to have a lot of conversations with parents of teens, especially that now that Joe, my oldest, is 14, he's going through puberty, he's getting the acne. And, sometimes people are like, oh, I'm just going to buy what's off the shelf, or I'm going to buy some of those really extreme products, or go to the dermatologist. And, I just caution them to, sometimes there's really harmful ingredients. And so why can't
we don't know? It's crazy that it's not regulated.
Right.
Like we have the FDA, but we don't have anything for skincare. And even the FDA is not that strict. I mean, so it's kind of like the wild, wild west in skincare.
It really is. It really is. And there's some other really like-minded, wonderful companies out here. And that's not how Beauty Counter operates. We're not here to bash companies. I think that it's just really important to educate. And that's what the platform I've always gone on. When I become passionate about something, it's how can I educate?
I like to talk. The whole thing.
Yeah. And too, and before we break, I feel like sometimes people get a little uneasy talking about the business side of things. But at the end of the day, especially in the world, digital world we live in, like I follow bloggers. I ask my best friends and acquaintances, strangers on the street, where'd you get that shirt? Where'd you get those jeans? What are you doing for that beautiful, I love your lipstick. Your skin looks so good. So, there really is a business piece to this. And whether or not you want to
look like, if somebody wants to become a consultant, which like during COVID, remember, I was like, maybe I'll sign up. I got some time on my hands. And then COVID was like over and the floodgates open in real estate. So it
Sure.
was hard for me to focus on it. But so what like what does that look like if somebody wants
Sure.
to?
Yeah, it's not a huge investment in my opinion. It's a
wasn't.
very small investment. You and I can get the exact figures, but it's around, I think $50 or so, and I should have those figures. But essentially, you are paying for the supportive beauty counter. You're paying for a personal website. You're paying for a team behind you. It's not necessary to buy the products. You can, because you get a significant discount to have the products on hand. But again, we're in a world now where it's digital and the 6-month guarantee. But essentially you just join the business, and, you can do it as a hobby. You can do it as like I consider mine more of a hobby. However,
Right.
my friend Melanie, managing director, literally left her her job as an educator and does this full time. And she's
Melanie's watching. She said the FDA doesn't regulate the personal care industry. Hey, ladies. Hey, girl.
so I mean, people make 6 figures doing this as well. So it's really about building a team, getting your message out there. You don't even have to build a team. It's really your preference. But
You've organically been doing this. You've just organically been doing it and just organically growing. And it's a great, a great side hustle, a great,
awesome. It gets, I get discounts on my products. I feel, my friends and families are educated, my neighbors, hockey moms. I have a couple hockey moms that might be listening. And,
right.
At the
You
end
have a product that you're like, oh my God, this can never be taken away from me or I'll die.
Yes. The overnight resurfacing peel. Sometimes people get a little nervous.
I love that. I love that.
At night, it does its magic. You wake up glowing, it exfoliates. I also love the number 2 face oil. I just get very, very dry skin. For me, it's just,
I need to look that up.
Yeah, the number 2 face oil is one of my favorites as well.
When do you put that on?
I personally put it on at night under my night cream. I also put it on under my makeup in the morning as well.
The number 2, what is that again? Number 2 what?
Face oil.
Okay. I literally was just looking at my dry skin going, I need a little something extra.
And I would also too, just, they have full regimens. And I know we're probably coming up on time.
That's what I love.
Have kids or not, if anyone is facing acne, oily skin, anti-aging, again, retinol, it's a natural version of retinol. Retinol itself can be very harmful ingredient. So I would caution folks to look at retinol, because sometimes people are like, oh, I'm just going to slap retinol on my face. Well,
you have to do it sparingly. And Melanie said hers is the C serum. That's her favorite.
Oh yes, the vitamin C brightening. It's just amazing. It's beautiful. But yeah, full body makeup, really deodorant. I mean, the other day, I got to tell a quick, really funny story. So my father, who Jim Luskin, who anybody's watching, he rolls into town and goes and buys my 14-year-old Old Spice deodorant.
Oh, geez.
I find out, and again, I'm not here to bash other companies, but Old Spice has
it's also like kind of like an older guy type of scent.
Like not good ingredients, harmful ingredients for me, for my baby, my 14-year-old. And Joe was so mad that I wouldn't let him wear Old Spice.
Oh my God.
Nope, we need some clean deodorant here. We need some clean deodorant.
You'll thank me one day. You'll be
right. One day.
And then real quick before we go, the pop-up. Tell everybody what's the pop-up.
Yeah, so we have a pop-up going on right now through Facebook. I can tag it off my main page. We can put it here. But it's been actually an amazing opportunity where we're all coming together and talking about the company, sharing education, sharing favorite products. We're doing some nightly giveaways, and actually started on the 18th. So we're into the second day now. However, it'll be available, but it's a great way to get in there and kind of dig in and kind of hyperlinks to products and education and kind of, have some dialogue.
Right. I love it. Put the link to it in our comments so that people can click on it. All right. Awesome, girl. I love this. I love how you're looking at me now. She doesn't know. She works for Microsoft, but she doesn't know how to work the camera on her.
Yes, pretty much.
Computer. She's looking at me, but she's looking off into the distance.
Yes.
I don't know why.
Oh, gosh.
All right, girl.
My day job, and then I turn into mom. So
I love that I get to see you today. Have a good kiss those babies for me.
I will. Thank you.
All right. I'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Okay, bye.